Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Sam from Unfunny, and today we're going to be covering the top 3 worst puzzles in Secrets Can Kill Remastered. This is going to be a little bit shorter of a video, covering 3 puzzles instead of 5, because there honestly aren't that many puzzles in Secrets Can Kill, and if I cover them all in this video, then my best puzzles ranking, which should also be releasing soon by the way, would get really boring. Let's go ahead and just get started. At number 3 on our list of the worst puzzles, we have fixing the gas leak in Maxine's. I will concede by saying that the first couple puzzles on this list are very difficult to consider puzzles by a modern standpoint. These are very skippable and they're very simple, and they kind of really show their age when talking about the game by today's standards. This probably applies the most to this first puzzle I'm covering, fixing the gas leak. This is a super short puzzle and it takes probably 10-15 seconds to finish. You can finish it way quicker than I'm talking about it. For those of you who don't know, I will have footage in the background of this video, but in order to fix the gas leak in Maxine's, you have to grab a ladle from a nearby shelf and stick it under a leaky pipe, which is both not a great solution and completely impractical. If you tried that in real life, it would be awful. It would be disastrous. If you try to leave Maxine's without putting this spoon there, or ladle I guess, then the entire building blows up. This is also completely optional. You only do it to get the bolt cutters, which you can use to make a certain puzzle later in the game, which won't be covered on this list, much quicker. But other than that usefulness, this really isn't a great puzzle at all. It's not really a puzzle. Up next on our list at number 2, we have the brain teasers on the bulletin boards throughout Paseo del Mar. This is another part of the game which really starts to show its age, with these kinds of puzzles only being included in this game and the second game, Stay Tuned for Danger. Which, I'm sure if I do end up covering Stay Tuned for Danger, these will also definitely be on that list of the worst puzzles. The issue here being, there's not really any indication of what's important, and they don't really make sense. There's no in-game reason for there to be little riddles and codes sprinkled throughout the building. It's kind of hinted that Jake, the murder victim himself, was the one who put these puzzles all over the bulletin boards, but then that also doesn't make a whole ton of sense, because that would mean that he knows that he's getting murdered, he knows who exactly did it, and he knows how to solve all of the puzzles within the school. That logic doesn't really follow, and these aren't super helpful. You need maybe 3 of them to finish the game at most. The rest are just kind of time wasters. They're just little riddles that tell you things that you already know, and that's why they make it to number 2 on this list of the worst puzzles. Now at number 1, we have a puzzle that I'm sure won't surprise anybody who's played the remastered version of this game. We have Jake's scavenger hunt. This is actually the only puzzle, unless I'm mistaken, the only puzzle that was added to the game when Her Interactive remastered it. And while an extra puzzle is appreciated, I guess, it's pretty bad when everybody agrees that your new puzzle is the worst part of the new game. If you haven't played this game, if you've only played the original, I'll kind of give you a short summary. Jake, again, left a little box under his seat in the library, and it's got this very complex code to unlock it. You have to press all of the elements. I think there's 18, maybe 20. You have to press all of the elements in order without messing up. The code for this is sprinkled all over through Maxine's and the school, causing you a lot like the safe puzzle in Message in a Haunted Mansion. Imagine that, but 10 times worse. You have to backtrack all over the place. They're usually close to the brain teasers you find, but you don't even find out about this puzzle until almost the very end of the game, removing all momentum that had built up. And honestly, when I play it now, I either look at a guide or I just click on the buttons until I get it right eventually. It's not worth the time. It seems pretty obvious in hindsight that this puzzle was added just to make the game longer, as if you skip this puzzle, or not really skip it, if you look up the solution, it ends up cutting down the game's runtime by at least a half hour at a minimum. And that brings us to the end of our top 3 worst puzzles in Secrets Can Kill Remastered. As I mentioned earlier, I'm also working on the top 3 best puzzles in Secrets Can Kill Remastered, so if you'd like to stick around and see that, it should be out within a week and a half. And if you haven't already, just to be sure you don't miss it, it would be greatly appreciated if you would subscribe and maybe hit that bell so you don't miss it. If you liked this video, be sure to let me know down below, and if you disliked it, go ahead and hit the dislike button as well. That helps me know what you guys want to see in the future. And I'd love to hear how you feel about this. So let's talk down in the comments. Anyway, that's all for me for today. I hope you have a great day. Bye.